everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope you guys can make it. I know it's playing tricks on you last couple weeks. I'm very, very sorry. Very, very, very sorry. I didn't mean it and I'll never do it again. It's been a crazy week. It's been crazy everything. Now, is my air conditioner too loud? Please tell me it's not because unlike in certain parts of the country, it was 83 today to 85. It was 90 yesterday, and it was 85 or 88 today. Needless to say, I'm all set with summer. I'm dead. I had enough hotness. Okay. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, or 4 days ago, my mother was wearing a puffy coat because it was cold. The next day was 88. Welcome to my world. So, anyway, I just need to know, Alma, how you doing? Is my air conditioner too loud? And where are you? Because it's hot as hell here. Is it hot there where you're at? It's real bad. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. So anyway, so I know it's been hard, and I know, guys, but it's been crazy. I got this letter that, while it was a good thing, I was still pissed, and I'm going to share it with you today, because I was right, and so I'm basically in a hearing for nothing because they're all stupid. Anyway, I'm going to go into that in a little bit. So, how you doing, Alma? And can you hear me? And is my air conditioner too loud? No, it's not loud. Good, because I'm gonna get louder anyway. But it doesn't. It is hot. Is it hot where you're at? I can't stand it here. I can't. You would think I live deep, deep, deep in the south. Okay, I live way down south. I live in southeastern Pennsylvania. I'm closer to the north than I am to the south. And it's hot as hell here. I'm not feeling it at all. So anyway, so I just want to tell everybody, thanks for coming. My name is Tammy Joya, and I'm an advocate for kids with special needs. And I've been doing it for a very, very long time, and I love doing this part right here. And I am no longer representing parents. I'm not taking on any new clients. So I'm basically just keeping the clients that I have, which I have two, and an occasional 3 or 4. But the other two are clients that it's just, they're not clients. Actually, they're older kids. So we're in the mid 70s. We're still good. See, you're at 70s. I was watching the news, and I'm watching MSNBC, and they're doing, clips of the trial, and everybody in the background is wearing coats, winter coats, winter coats. And I'm like, what the hell? So I had to call a few people, and I said, well, what's the temperature in Massachusetts? They said 60. I was like, what? It's 85 here. I am not the one. I need to be near the water when summer comes. And we are like landlocked. In order to get near water, I have to drive 4 hours to get to Ocean City, where the ocean is. And it's 4 hours away. That's a nice gnat flying right by. Because the bugs are out. Bumblebees, all kind of bugs. So anyway, yeah, it's not fun. Living, if you're, I'm an Aquarian, and I grew up near the water, on the ocean. So this is not my thing at all. So I stay in air conditioner. Where's Barbara? Come down to Charleston. Absolutely. South Carolina? Yeah, right. Absolutely not. Not this lifetime. Nowhere with the word South in front of it. Okay. South Boston. South Shore. Never South Carolina. Not doing it. Nope. I will be your host. I bet. Thank you. I love you too, honey. You are such a sweet person. I do. I would love to come, but you live in South. Can't do it. Not doing it. I'm gonna. Not even for a few minutes. So anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, I love being an advocate. But one of my colleagues asked me the other day, I think it was this morning, because I was telling her about what's going on. And I see you, and she said I was going off on all of this stuff. And she's like, Timmy, what are you going to do when you don't have any more customers? When you don't have any clients at all? I said, oh, I'll always have clients. They're on Facebook. I'm still going to do my show. I'm still going to tell people how to do this because I know now that we can make a change. And I know one person can do it. That was me. I made the change. I started the ball rolling anyway. And I'm going to show you how I did it. And it's hard. I'm not telling you guys got to understand something. I feel your pain. I tell you that all the time. I tell you guys all the time I feel your pain. But if you don't do it, it ain't getting done. And that's the bottom line. It's like you got to clean your house or you got to go to work or, you got to pick stuff off the floor, whatever. You got to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to get done because they don't care. They just don't care. Okay? Truth or dare, you just don't care. That's my new girl. I love Tyler. I love Tyler. I mean, she's just my girl. But anyway, what? I love that song. It's so cool. But anyway, I digress. And I just want you guys to know I'm tired as hell. I was out all day with my sisters and my mother, and we were just kicking it and going to stores, going shopping, had lunch. Thank God I didn't drink because, I was the driver. That's why I didn't drink. But anyway, so you guys are busting my chops because you really, really want this form on how to do this. So what I decided to do is I'm going to show you an actual complaint and the response from the state after I wrote it and what they were intended to investigate. And I'm going to tell you what happened. I set my state complaint against the SCA Monday. They are so quiet, no replies yet. That's right. What you have to do is you have to send them a note, Alma, and you have to ask them, so how long before you guys answer me? Because I know you only have 60 days to get this whole thing done. Because you tell them, I want to know what you're asking of the school. I want to know, and I'm going to show you why. So tonight, I'm going to show you what your next step is, Alma, okay? And just remember this. Whatever you guys are complaining about to the state, you can go back 1 year from the date you're filing it, okay? So like today is May 1st, 2024. You can go all the way back to May 1st, 2023. But you can only go back 1 year. And you know what? That's not a bad idea because it keeps it limited. Okay, unless you're in a whack job school that every single day they're doing something wrong. In that case, you got to file a law. You got to file a law. Okay, and you're going to get really good at it. The more you file, the better you get. Now, Alma, when you get the stuff back from these idiots, you have to compare what you wrote to what they're investigating. Okay, what state do you live in again? Because I can go in and look and see what you have to do. I sent the comments to y'all. Okay, good. Because when you don't get a response from them right away, then what you have to do is go look at your laws, okay, and see what it says under state complaint. Okay. Now each state does it different. And I'm going to show you how it does it different. In Massachusetts, when I file a complaint, okay, against Massachusetts, they about 10 days later, they send me and they send the school district, the school superintendent, South Carolina. Okay, hold that thought. I'll just write it up here. Okay. You got to look up your state complaint process. I'm going to help you find them and show you. Okay. So in Massachusetts, you get it's called the local report letter. Okay. Letter of local report. And all that is everything that you filed 10 days for me. So they have to respond to you within 10 days after you file the complaint. Perfect. Now, when you get that, you have to make sure you have to compare what you filed against, what you're alleging versus what they said in their response to you, to your complaint, that they're supposed to send to the school commission, school superintendent. Okay. In Massachusetts, they send it to the school superintendent. Okay. So tonight I'm going to show you what that letter looks like. Okay. So I'm just going to do it right now. So I filed a complaint against this stupid school. Okay. And I won. They came back how long should you wait to receive a 10 days? In Massachusetts, 10 days. You have to go look at your laws and see, but it doesn't matter. There's no timeline under IDEA. Each state can create their own timelines. So what you have to do is you have to go look under your state laws. Now, here's the trick, guys. If your state law mimics IDEA, because there's a bunch of states that do, they just have, like, what's that state I was in? Arizona? I think it was Arizona. Their laws are exactly our laws. They adopted IDEA laws. They adopted 307 pages of IDEA, and they call it their special education laws. Okay. So you have to, and in IDEA, they don't, let me just show you. In IDEA, it doesn't say what the timeline is after prior written notice. When you make a request, it doesn't say. It says, I think it says within a reasonable time, 300.503. Let me just check. Okay. So let's do this. I'll go over here. I'll go over here. Ta-da. And share. Okay. So I have to bounce you over here because I can't say. I can't say. Where is it? You better go down there. I'm playing around with my computer until I get the thing up that I need. Because apparently it doesn't want to go up. Okay, so you can go there. Okay, I got it all set up now. Okay, so this is the law on prior written notice. Okay, Tiffany, this is what the law looks like. Okay, and on my first documents that I sent out, that I put out there for all of you guys, this was one of the links. Prior written notice. Okay. You use the template? Oh, good job. Hi, Melanie, girl. How you doing? Haven't heard from you in a long time. How long should you wait to receive a parent from the IEP ARD team? Okay, so. Okay, what it says here is prior written notice to be required. Okay, so the only time you get prior written notice, okay, is when the school district proposes to initiate or change the identification. Okay, which is your kid goes on an IEP or kid is, a 504, the evaluation or educational placement, or for the provision of FAPE. Usually, you're right. Tiffany, they send you prior written notice with it. Okay, you're saying ARD. Are you in New York? I think I forgot what state that is when they use ARD. So there's so whenever they propose, so if you go to a team meeting, right, and they're developing your kid's IEP, you're in Texas, okay. Whenever you go to a team meeting and the district says, or you say, you want 3 times 30 for speech and language, okay, the district says, okay. But his previous IEP said 2 times 30. So you're making a request. So now the district has 2 choices. See this right here? It says proposes to initiate yada yada yada, okay, or refuses. Okay, now here's the thing. Here's a trick to make sure you get a prior written notice. What you have to say to them is that you need 3 times 30 because that's going to provide your kid with FAPE. Without it, your kid doesn't get FAPE. You always have to throw FAPE in there. I don't care what you ask them. Okay. Yes. 10 days. Okay. That was you. Okay. So that way it'll cover 503. Okay. Because there's no timeline. All it says is the written notice, what the written notice has to contain. Okay. And it's based on these 4 things. If they're proposing or refusing. So if they refuse your request, so if you ask 3 times 30, and they say, no, we're only going to give them 2 times 30, then that means they have to put it in writing. Then you get a 503. And it says all the stuff they need to say. So this is all the stuff. So 1 through 7 is what the complaint needs to say. Okay. What the notice has to contain, see, it says content of the notice. Okay. It has to contain a description of the action that's being proposed or refused by the agency. The agency doesn't refuse themselves. The agency refuses you. Okay? You ask for something, they say no, that's a refusal. They have to put it in writing. Okay? A description of what was refused, okay, or proposed. So let's say the district was proposing an ESY program. Then they have to put that in writing. They have to say why they're proposing it, or an out of district placement, okay, or an extended day program, okay. So they have to put all of if they're proposing to do that, then they have to put it in writing, okay. It's not just the IEP. They're changing something, or they're adding something, they're modifying something from the previous IEP to this one. They have to put it in writing, okay. They have to put an explanation of why they're proposing it or why they're refusing. So when you ask for speech and language and they say no, okay, they say no, then they have to tell you why. Now the next one is a blip, because the next thing is an explanation of why the action, let's say it's speech and language, an explanation of why the agency is refusing to take the action. So then they have to put in why. They have to put a description now. So they explained why. Now they have to put in a description of each evaluation procedure they use to make that determination, assessment, a record, a report of the agency used as a basis for the proposal they're making, or the refused action they're refusing. Okay? That has to go in there. They can't send you an email. There's no emails. No, you can't have it. No, they can't do no emails. They have to have all of this. If they don't include all of this, it's a violation. Because guess what? One of them in here it is right here. A statement that the parents of a child with a disability have protection under the procedural safeguards of this part. And if this notice is not an initial referral for evaluation, the means by which a copy of a description of the procedural safeguards can be obtained. Blech. I said it fast. But what that means is they have to give you your rights. So when they refuse you, you have rights. You have rights to dispute their decision. Whatever it is, you have rights to dispute it. If they're proposing an out-of-district placement, you don't want your kid in an out-of-district placement, then you can say, I don't want it. And then you file a complaint. Now, here's what they like to do, which pisses me off. Okay. What they like to do is they like to make these proposals, and then what they'll say is they'll use the same evaluations that got your kid a service, like they say it was a placement. They'll say, no, your kid can't have the placement you're requesting. And then the next thing they say is, and these are the evaluations and stuff that we used to make that decision. It's the same evaluations that they used to give them a placement. So they can't use the same evaluations to take it away. That's why they have, and anytime they want to change a placement or do some significant changes, they literally have to ask you for consent to do an evaluation. They can't make a change to say, so let's say they say, well, he doesn't need speech and language. Well, then you can come back and say that the school district did not evaluate in all areas of suspected disability because you just requested an additional day, and you want to increase it because whatever they're doing isn't enough. And all you have to do is you go on Pearson Clinical, you look up one of those speech and language evaluations, whatever it is you want, okay? Whatever area you want your kid to get services in, it's not just speech and language. Speech and language is huge. Everything that your kid has is huge, okay? It's huge for OT. It's huge for PT. It's huge. You can literally needle it right down to a fine point in the area that they need to evaluate your kid and that the service your kid needs. You can't say, I want it, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, but this is the only thing that comes to mind. You can't say, for instance, you can't say, I want an autism evaluation. You can't say that. There are evaluations that are used to determine whether a kid has autism. However, most of them are screenings. And most of those people at the school, I wouldn't trust them to diagnose my kid with anything. You need to get somebody outside of the school. You need to go to a doctor and have the doctor tell you. Okay. Now, when the doctor tells you your kid has autism or your kid has dyslexia, now you got to figure out, well, how does that impact my kid? My kid, not somebody else's kid, not what the school district thinks it is. How does it impact your kid and how your kid accesses the general curriculum? How does that work for your kid? Okay. So there could be a lot of things, like with speech and language. It could be more oral than written. Okay. It could be more comprehensive reading and stuff like that, understanding, receptive. That's what I'm trying to say. It could be more a receptive skill rather than an expressive skill. There's a lot of kids out there that are nonverbal, but that doesn't mean they don't know what time it is. That doesn't mean they don't know what you people are talking about. Be very careful what you say to these kids, because their reaction could be a direct result of what you just said about them in front of them, like they're stupid and they don't know what you said. They can hear. Some of these kids can read lips. They read, if your kid has a hearing impairment. Perfect example. I represented a kid one time, and the stupid teacher told me that he was teaching the kid how to paint. Do you know where the teacher was standing when he was teaching the kid how to paint? Behind him. The kid can't hear. So guess what the kid couldn't do? What the teacher was telling him to do, because the kid didn't. And this was a teacher, grown man. Stupid. Okay, stupid. So Tammy, if after the triannual by them, they still send me parent consent for dyslexia, is that a violation for not evaluating? Yes. Yes. Because what I would do is send it back to them and say, what are you talking about? You already evaluated my kid. And then you could say, are you telling me you didn't evaluate my kid in all areas of suspected disability? Question mark. And this is how you get them. You say, excuse you. I just need some clarity. Just, you open up real nice, like, hi, Marlo. Hi, they can sense it first. Yes, exactly. You start off real nice, okay? What you do is you say, so just so I'm clear, you sent me this. Why? I'm confused. Who thinks my kid has dyslexia at the school? See, did they say he had dyslexia because you told them that, and now they want to evaluate in that area? Is that what you did? Awesome. Yeah. We got to be careful now, because listen, okay, I got to put a disclaimer out here. Okay. I'm basing my answers on what you guys are telling me. Okay. So, yeah. So if they came to you and said, the clear blue sky, hey, we want to test your kid for dyslexia, my response is, why? Why? Look. They can't just say, we just want to do it. They have to put it in writing. Okay. They can't just send you a consent. This is the exact thing that I was talking about with prior written notice. They're making a proposal to do an evaluation, and they need consent. Therefore, part of 503 simply says evaluation. If they're proposing to do an evaluation, they have to send you prior written notice, and behind that is your consent. And the prior written notice should explain everything, because it says right there. It says right there. Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna put some banners up, and so I can show you. Okay, hide that. Hide. So I don't know how to get rid of these stupid banners. It says Tammy Joy's Bishop. Okay. I want to edit. So I'll just do that. I don't know how to take this out. Banner, brand, I don't know. Anyway, none of this is working. Okay. So what I want to do is, here's a link. Geez, I want to do this. Edit later. I'm trying to put some stuff up here, okay? Okay, so that's what they did. Alma, is that what they did? They just came out of the clear blue sky. So they're in violation of two things. One, they didn't evaluate in all areas of suspected disability. And two, they didn't file prior written notice. So you don't even know why they're asking. You can basically tell them to eat shit and die, and you're done. They need to come up with more than that. They need to come up with a whole bunch more than that. I mean, okay. Did you see, hi, Meg, did you see the prior written notice law, Alma Cuevas? Oh, thank you, honey. Alma Cuevas, did you see the first part? Because I don't think you did. Yes, you're so right. Your videos are better than... yes, they do that. Wombats. That's their names, Wombats. I should make t-shirts that say Wombats. As soon as I make the one that says WWTD, because they do everything. It's in the bag. I'm going to make it now, I promise. Oh, you did see it. Okay, good. So on my Facebook page, I put a link on there, and it has the how to file a complaint. It's for the state complaint, though, against the state. But there's links. Just give me a day or two, and I'm going to have this new one out there so you guys can just have at it. Okay, this is going to be really good. Okay, I promise. Yes, Mom. Okay, good. So if they did that, you got them on 2 counts, and that's what you guys do. When you guys are filing a complaint, you keep it deepsy because they're stupid. The smaller you can keep it, it's tight. It's tight. So they can't go wandering off in the clear blue sky talking about something else. Okay? Because whenever you guys go over the top, and I've done it, it gives them the opportunity to take it way out in left field somewhere. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not what I said, doofuses. This is what I said. And then I'll show you how to go after them because this is what you said. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to cut and paste the law, put it in your complaint, and say, this is what they did. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. So yes, I'm glad you like my videos. Good. I'm glad somebody's watching them. Could you guys please listen, do a girl a solid, please. And if you're on my YouTube channel, just hit the, subscribe and all of that stuff. Just do it. You know what, to be honest with you, if you do it, wonderful. And if you don't, it's still wonderful because I'm still going to come here. And it's just, it makes me feel good that people are watching and they like it. That's all I'm saying. I can actually get paid. The more I do this, I can get paid. And it gives me an incentive to come back on and make sure I'm here all the time. Because I can also do little teeny videos. I can do all kinds of stuff. But, it takes time to do that. It'd be nice if I could get paid. But it's okay if I don't. I really don't care. Because I like this. It's fun for me. Anywho, more comments? What? If the school never did an event, there's no such thing as a survey. That's a violation. To create a transition plan is a violation. Yes. Another violation. So they got 3 now. There's no such thing as a survey. They have to do how old is your kid? Oh, they're doing the transition? Where do you live? Where do you live? Anima Cruz, if the school never did an evaluation, just a survey to create a transition plan is a violation. If your kid is 14 years old, they're supposed to literally, the whole thing they can do. Okay, transition plans. You can do a thing called the AFOS. The assessment of functional living skills. And what that does is it helps the team determine what your kid can do, what your kid can't do in about 6 different environmental settings. The community, school, and it goes all the way up to 22 and beyond. Okay, you can use them over and over again. I have a set. Okay, it's not that hard to do. It's called the AFLS for short. AFLS. Okay, here. AFLS. Okay, so that's one evaluation you get. Then there's you can do the ONET, which is free, and you go on what is it? It's O asterisk net, NET, and it helps the kid figure out what they want to do with their life. So if your kid is 14, he's in the 9th grade or he's just about to get into the 9th grade. And that's when you want to know all of this stuff. Okay. And if your kid has like a language disability and your kid is on the spectrum, there's another evaluation. It's called the ABLS-R. The ABLS-R is all about communication, okay? And this is it, ABLLS-R, okay? Those assessments are critical for any kid. I mean, you could do this with any kid. It doesn't have to be a kid with a disability. If your kid's on an IEP, every kid on an IEP should have at least the AFLS and the ONET done, okay, for transition. Now you can say you have an evaluation, because they can't do an evaluation based on their creativity. They're idiots. You can't do that. That's illegal. Okay. And there's a book called, there's a book. It's called The Transitional. Okay. Wait, let me find it. Wait. Age appropriate transitional. It is. There it is. I am good. I am good. I am good. Okay, watch this, guys. So here we go. So now I want to do this, present, and do this. Okay, share screen, and share screen. Okay, see this? Hate my computer. Okay, my computer's acting stupid. Where'd it go? Okay. Put you over here and put you over here. Okay. So see this right here, honey? This is for when your kid turns 14. From the day your kid turns 14, this thing right here is what you guys use. I'll put it out there for you guys. I put it up before. Okay. This is a thing. It's this document. This is a grant. Okay. And what this thing does is it gives you, look, what is a transition assessment? Why conduct a transition assessment? Sample instruments. Instruments are the testing instruments. Okay. So they have interviews and questionnaires, direct observation. This is what you tell them, honey, you want them to do. Okay. Environmental analysis, curriculum-based assessments. That's another thing they can do. School performance measures. Formal. You want formal transition assessment methods. If they don't do, and that includes achievement tests, adaptive behavior. That's the ABAS or the BASC. That's what you want done. You can get the Vineland done. The Vineland is a wonderful test to determine where your kid is at, especially if your kid has a disability. So these are all the areas. And then when you look at it, it gives you podcasts and websites. There's so much information. Do you want me to you want me to save this for you? Want me to put it out there for you guys to have it? I'll leave it. I get it a lot. It's my favorite thing. Schools hate it when I use it. They friggin' hate it. And I like it because they hate it. Because they don't want to do their job. They don't care if your kid can walk and chew gum when they leave the building. They just don't care. Okay. So that's what you really need. Okay. You really need to get them on that. And then the nonsense, they'll be like, what? And then you have all the necessary information, all of the data to develop an appropriate transitional assessment. They have to ask your kid, well, what do you want to do? Okay. When I was in high school, we had to do a transitional. If them already did transitional assessment, how do I have to get it done? You just say it again. I need you to assess my kid in this. I want this assessment done. I will put out the transitional assessment thingy on my Facebook page. The link will be there, and you go read that little book. It's a book, and you can give it to them. I've given it to schools, and I said, this is what I want. And if you don't friggin' pick one, you tell them, I want you guys to do an observation. I want you to tell me what he can do, what he can't do, how he's doing it, why he's doing it. I want the whys and what fors, because we have to sit down and we have to prepare my kid for life. How to fill out an application. The AFLS talks about, can your kid fill out a job application? Does he need help? I had to do this with one of my clients, Barbara, because her kid didn't know how to do any of this. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, these idiots were talking about, we're giving her transition. They didn't give a shit. I made Barbara go get her a job. Go get her a job. Now she's had two. She's working right now, and she loves the job she has now. She loves it. But her mother had to help her, had to call the school and say, you got 2 seconds. You got 2 seconds to go help my daughter get this job. She doesn't even know how to fill out the application, but you keep sending me these little handy dandy notes about, here's an update. That update is, Anyway, I digress because I'm mad. But anyway, yes, transition is a big, big thing. And yes, you're right. If they didn't do any of those things, they can't just say, we base it on achievement. Oh, okay. So you know what my kid can do. Does he know how to access community resources? Does he know how to take a bus? Does he know how to order food in a restaurant? Does he know how to count back money? I mean, does he know how to pay a bill? Does he know how to open up a bank account? Does he know what a social security card is? Does he know what an ATM card is? Does he have one? Does he know how to use it? These are things that we learn growing up. When I was in school, they asked me, what do you want to do? My guidance counselor, see, back in the day, they had a guidance counselor. And the guidance counselor said, you know, we had to have them when we were in the 9th grade. And she said, what do you want to do when you leave school? And so I would tell her. And then they would tell me, like, well, this is what these are the courses that you have to take in order to apply for college. And make no mistake, by the way, I got to send out congratulations to 2 people. One of my clients, Tyler, congratulations. He just graduated from high school and he's already in college. And he's autistic. It can be done. If you can think about it, it can be done. It's hard, but it can be done. And if you raise your kids like, you know, do you want to do something? Little girl. One of my clients, the mother just sent me a picture of the little girl spelling her name. She spelled out her whole name all by herself with no prompting or nothing. It was the first time the mother has seen it. She's 10 years old. 10 years old. She just found out her daughter could do this. The school doesn't even know because they're stupid. How do you not know this? How can you not tell me? I told them she can't spell. She doesn't know the alphabet. She doesn't know what the sounds of the letters are. If she doesn't know any of that, how is she going to learn how to read? Through osmosis. Is that what we're doing here now in schools? We're learning things through osmosis. Idiots. I hate people. And another thing. One of my comrades, one of my colleagues, she just tore up the house in Springfield. So if you go on YouTube and you look up the Springfield School Committee, there's a girl. Her name is Kelly. Kelly LaRoe just kicked some serious butt at a school committee meeting. She was pulling them to the carpet. She was putting their feet right to the fire. Good for her. More power. Fight the good fight. That's what we do here. We fight the good fight, okay? So this is what you got to do. So now let me go pull up this thing. So I'm going to show you guys something. This is so cool. You guys are going to love it. Watch. So, okay, first I got to do that. So I filed a complaint, right? So then I got my local letter. I got my local report letter from the Ding Dongs, okay? From the Wombats, I got it. Where is it? Because I just can't. I don't understand. Why is this doing this? Oh, my life. Is this it? Okay, so we'll put you over here. Now, okay, so okay, it's called the request. Here it is right here. This is the letter I get from the Wombats. Okay, so I filed my complaint. Okay, so it says right here, problem resolution, Brookline Public School on March 10th. Tammy Joya. There I am right there. I filed his complaint. Okay, see what? I didn't want it to do none of that. So, okay. Anyway, okay, good. All right. Keep this number right here close to your heart. Okay, just keep that in line. Right. So I filed this complaint on March 22nd, and it was against the Brookline Public Schools. Okay, and so they're telling the school superintendent, this is the school superintendent, Mr. Meehan. Trying to figure out how to do this. Okay, that's the school superintendent. So I filed the complaint against the school district for denying this kid his right. Okay, here's a question. Wait a minute. If the student already have the credits to be graduated, but is not ready for the next step, because he cannot do many activities of daily life. The best option is complaints to push the school. Yes, he can stay in school until he's 22. One of the things he can't get out of school is because he didn't do any, they never provide him with any transitioning. Okay. That's how you file against him. There's no transition. He can't do anything. And so what you tell the school is he's not graduating. He's going to stay here because he can't fill out an application to get a job. Thank you very much. Okay. That's how you do it. He can stay in school until he's 22. Whether he has the credits or not is irrelevant. Okay. Because we don't really know how he got those credits too. I mean, he could have worked very hard and he could have got every last one of them. However, I know a bunch of kids that they said they got credits, but they really didn't. So he's going to graduate with a regular diploma. Is that what you're saying? A certified diploma. Okay. Just answer that and I'll let you know. So anyway, so this complaint, okay, so this is their response when I first signed it. So this said March 22nd, and I got this. Oh, I got it relatively quickly. Okay, I got it 7 days later, a local report. He's getting a regular diploma. Okay, what I would do is just tell them, where's his transitional services? Just ask him, was he on an IEP? Did he have transitional services? And if they never did anything for transition, like what really is the issue? What is the issue regarding graduating and he doesn't have what skills? What? He can't do many activities of daily living. So what you need is the AFLs. You need them to go do the AFLs assessment and the ONET. He needs to figure out what he wants to do. And if they didn't do that, then yeah, they violated his, if they can't answer simple questions, then you can file. They didn't evaluate in all areas of suspected disability. And that's real easy. All you got to do is say he can't fill out an application. He can't open up a bank account. He doesn't know how to he doesn't know how to take transportation within his community. He doesn't know how to access any resources within his community. He doesn't know any of this. So that's how you get it. Okay. So what this letter is right here is the state is sending a letter that they just got this complaint from me. Okay. And they're telling them what they want from the school district. So says, you must it's saying, as policy for concerns the school superintendent, we request that you review this matter, report your findings to us, and include any actions the district took to resolve. Okay. Your report must include detailed statements of activities, a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. They're telling them what their response. What the state is telling the district is you have to respond to them. And by the way, here's the allegation. So in your response, this is what you have to tell them. Okay. So it says PRS requests that you report right here. PRS reports that you report on the following concerns and any systemic occurrences of them. So I stated the complaint. She says the complaint alleges. Now this is what you guys have to look at. So I allege the district failed to conduct a 3-year reevaluation. Okay. And then I cited the state. They put in the state law. I put in the federal. I don't care what law they put in. I don't care nothing about it. Okay. So this is what it says. So this is what the state law says. So they put the state law in there. You put the federal. You put the federal law. It doesn't matter. Federal is nationwide. That's why when you use my shit, I'm telling you guys, I'm sorry. When you use my stuff, I'm telling you guys to use the federal law because you guys are from all over the country. And state law changes, but state law must comply with federal. All the states have to comply with the federal idea. So in Massachusetts, it says that this is what the law says. This right here in yellow is what the law says they have to do. And I said they didn't do it. Okay. All of this in yellow. That within 45 school working days after receipt of the parent's written consent to an initial or reevaluation, the school district shall provide an evaluation and blah, 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 blah. Goes all into detail about that. Okay. Then it says, and then it's because this was a reeval. Remember, my thing was a 3-year reeval. They didn't give the kid. Okay. So that's what it talks about, just to do the evaluation. Okay. Then specifically, federal law says, that's federal law, 34 CFR 300.303. It's federal law. The public agency must ensure that a reevaluation of each child with a disability is conducted in accordance with yada, yada, yada. If the public agency determines that the educational related services needs, including improved academic outcomes, so this is talking about what the reevaluation procedures are, then I'm alleging they didn't do at all. So they didn't do the state law right here, I'm alleging, okay? And then I copied and pasted the law, okay? And I told them what they didn't do. So in order for the state to get here, to put this in here and just say the complainant alleges the district failed to conduct a 3-year reevaluation for the student. What I did is I said, pursuant to the April 12th, 2020 IEP, it clearly says, I think it was the April 2019 IEP, clearly states that the 3-year reevaluation was supposed to be done by April 12th, 2020. And then I attached the IEP. Okay. So the school district has, and when I filed it, remember, I filed this in 2022. So they were 2 years behind already. They were 2 years behind not doing the 3-year reevaluation. The 3-year reevaluation date was April 12th, 2020. I filed this complaint 2022. So that's 2020. They were supposed to do it in 3 years. And then 2020, 2021, 2022. And so that's 2 more years. Or that's another year. Is it another year? It's another year. So they were already behind the 8 ball over a year. Okay. When I filed this complaint. So I went back a year. So I went back until March 2022. And the IEP, it says that that thing hadn't been done since on April 12th, 2020. So they were in trouble because they could have done it April 2021, or they could have done it from April 12th, 2020, up until the date I did this. They had ample opportunity to do the 3-year reeval, and they never did. So it didn't matter when I filed it. They were in violation. They had never done it. So that's what I alleged. But I told them what they said. And then I also attached a copy of the consent form that the parent signed. So they had the IEP that said that showed the date that the reevaluation was never done. It said the date they were going to do it, and then they didn't. There was no evaluations there. And then I had the consent form that the parent signed that had the same date, right around before 2020. They had the consent form that she signed. And so they had 2 pieces of paper that showed that they didn't do their job. Okay, under state or federal law. And then this is what they do. So they came back and they said, this is what girlfriend said you guys didn't do. Hey, girl, LM, it's Letty. My case just came back. Damn lawyer. Punked me. And I lost all the arguments in due process. Told you I don't like lawyers. You only get a 2-year statute of limitations. And I lost all, I know. But you know what you can do? File a complaint. That's what you can do. Okay? That's what you do. File a complaint against the school district and only go back from today's date back to 2023, May 2023. That's what you do. Told you guys about lawyers. Lawyers, the statutes of limitations, the lawyer should have known. In a due process hearing, you can only go back 2 years. It says it right in the federal regs. You guys what you guys have to do, I'm sorry, honey. I'm really sorry. You guys got to be real careful with who you're giving your money to. Even if you're not paying them and they're doing it pro bono, do it yourself. You can lose by yourself way better. But and at least you can have a lesson learned. Now what you do is you take what that guy did, because what you didn't really lose. You lost, but you really didn't. What you did is there's a lesson learned there. Now you go take everything that guy did. You tell him you want everything. You want the books. You want everything that he had to give the hearing officers. You want a copy of the book, because It'll show you how to set up your book the next time. But I'm telling you guys, I'm hoping that you guys never have to do that again. Do not go to a hearing. When I get done with you guys in the next couple of days, you're going to be like, holy shit. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Don't do a hearing. These hearings, especially in Massachusetts. The BSDA in Massachusetts is a hot mess. They are so rigged and so biased. I can't even see straight. They're my next mission. Okay. All right. So I'm really sorry to hear that. Hey, Wendy, how you doing, girl? Okay. So this is what they got out of that one section. So the first section I have on my complaint is they didn't do the 3-year reeval. Okay, good. Okay, so they put in all the regs. Then I said the complainant alleges, that's me, the district did not implement the last agreed upon IEP following the rejection of a proposed IEP. In doing so, the complainant alleges the student's IEP was not reasonably calculated to provide FAPE. Because the last accepted IEP for this kid was dated 2019. And they didn't implement that. They haven't implemented that since 2019. Okay. And if you don't implement the IEP, it's a denial of FAPE. Remember, I told you guys, FAPE is your friend. Anytime you file a complaint, denied FAPE. Whenever they don't do their job, it's a denial of FAPE. Because they didn't do this, they denied FAPE. Because they didn't do that, they denied FAPE. Every time anything comes out of your mouth, it's a denial of FAPE. Okay? It says right here, free and appropriate public education, yada, yada, yada. So if your kid didn't get a service, then your kid didn't get access to the general curriculum. If your kid didn't get access to the general curriculum, like everybody else's kid, it's a denial of FAPE. And this is what it says. Are provided at public expense, under public supervision and direction and without charge. Meets the standards of the SEA, the state curriculum frameworks of Massachusetts, including the requirements of this part, including appropriate preschool, elementary, or secondary school education, and the state involved, and are provided in the conformity with individualized IEP that meets the requirements of 320 to 324. And that's what I said they didn't do. They do nothing. But they took the money. Well, yeah, we're going to be talking about money pretty soon. But they took the money for the kid, though. Every year they didn't do their job with this kid. They took the money. And we got proof. Because in order to get this kid with IEP services under IDEA, they had to tell the state in their application for the grant money, we have this many kids on IEPs that are in the school district that are on an IEP, and here's all their services. And then they get a certain amount of money for that kid. So since 2019, they got money for this kid and didn't give him shit. And they think that's okay to do. Not okay. That's a very, very bad law. The Department of Justice is going to be finding out a few things about Massachusetts and the money, because I don't like them. I am guessing them chose to work for the district because cleaning gas station bathrooms is hard. Yeah. Bitch. I'm going to behave. Okay. So when they violated 34, why is this doing this? I just don't understand. Okay, I'll do that. Okay. So when they violated 300.17, they violated 300.320 to 324. Because nothing in the IEP, all of that, everything that's in the IEP, all of that law right there, 320 to 324, is everything that's in the IEP, every single page. Okay. So they violated this law, they violated this law, and then they violated FAPE specifically. And it says, free and appropriate education. Free and appropriate public education, the definition, must be available to all children residing in the state between the ages of 3 and 21, including children with disabilities who have been suspended or expelled from school as provided under 300.530D. Everybody in the school district gets public education. Everybody. I had a you had a facilitated meeting? Yeah. And the Wombats last Monday, and they have not sent the IEP yet. Okay, like I said, you've got to go on your website for your timelines. They should have timelines in there. Because all it says in the idea is that it has to be done within a reasonable amount of time. That's all it says. It says something to that effect under idea. But as soon as the IEP is developed, it must be implemented. So what I would do is just say to them, hey, doofuses, you do realize that I know that since the IEP was developed, as of the second it was developed, it must be implemented. You do know I know that, right? Yes, it's a violation. Okay? There's a law for that. There's a law for that. It's let me show you. Okay, guys, now I gotta go because Alma is going to drive me nuts. It's okay. I like the questions. The questions are fun. It tests me. Okay. What is it? When is the IEP? Okay. Which one is that? 34 CFR 300.320. 320? No, but I bet it's under here. Bingo. 323. Bingo. Got you, girl. Gotcha. Okay. It's 300.323. Yes, there's a law for that. Here you go. 34 CFR 300.323. Okay, so you're going to send them this and you're going to tell them, dudes, okay, we had a team meeting. We developed an IEP. You do realize that I'm very aware that the second the IEP was developed, it's got to be implemented. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with my friggin' screen. It's doing all kind of weird shit. That one. Okay. See? When IEPs must be in effect. It says at the beginning of each school year, each public agency must have an effect for each child with a disability within its jurisdiction. An IEP is defined as 320. It's right there. Okay. Okay. Implementing the requirements of this, the public agency must provide to the child's parents a detailed explanation of the difference between an ISP. Okay, that's about ISP. Where is it? IEPs, transfer, IEPs. So, this is about ISP through 5, consistency, implementing. I'm just trying to, initial IEP services, each public agency must ensure that a meeting, here you go, to develop an IEP for a child is conducted within 30 days of a determination he needs special ed. So we already got past that. And as soon as possible, following the development of the IEP, special education and related services are made available to the child in accordance with the child's IEP. So here's the law. Here's the law. Okay. Cut it. Okay. So all you have to do is go to that section. Okay. Go to that. Type that in, 34 CFR 300.323. That's all you put in the browser. And then look for C2. You'll see it. It'll say it right out loud. Okay. You do that, and then you tell them to eat, shit, and die. You tell them, every day that goes by that I don't have a copy, is there a special reason? I would send it to them and say, is there a special reason why I don't have a copy of the IEP? Because you know it can't be implemented. Is it being, I would just ask them, by the way, I never received a copy of the IEP, so has it been implemented? Or not? Or not? Let's say, or not. That's what you do. Excuse you. Send them a nice little email. Remember, don't ring, hello. Don't call those idiots. Everything you do, you put it in writing. Create that paper trail. I am the paper trail queen. Loves creating paper. It's fun. Okay? So, yeah, there it is right there. Okay, honey? Denial of transportation as a related service will be under, no. No. What it's 34 CFR 300.34. Okay. You say, this is how you get them on that. You say you have to provide them with transportation because the kid can't get to school without it. And if they're trying to put the kid on a regular bus and the kid can't do that due to emotional or behavioral or intellectual, you tell them no, the kid can't get on the bus. And because the kid will be targeted and bullied. And if anything happens to the kid, we're reporting you because you knew. And you put it all in writing. And you say, you do realize that if the kid gets to school, so this is a thing when you do transportation. Let me plant a seed. So the school districts don't like providing transportation to kids. They like to say, well, they can just get on the bus and blah, blah, blah. And then I say, let me tell you something right now. Anything happens to this kid, and I mean anything. I mean anything. The bus driver, other kids, anything. The kid has a disability. The kid has a disability. You're going to put this kid on that bus with all them crazy ass kids? Yeah, no, we can't do that. You're going to have to not do that. If anything happens to the kid, you've been served. You put it in writing. You say, consider yourself notified. Okay. Then you attach like any record you can. You say, please review the neuropsychological. Then you go to the kid's doctor too. That's another way you can get around that. Related transportation is a related service. And the reason why it's a related service is because of this. Think about it. If your kid can't get in the building because of their disability, for whatever it is, it could be an emotional disturbance, it could be behavioral, it could be intellectual, it could be the kids are bullying them and the kid's afraid and the kid's refusing to go to school, a whole bunch of shit. That's a denial of faith. Okay, transportation is a related service pursuant to that law I just put there, 300.34. It's like the first line. And the school districts get 35% of their special education budget, 9 times out of 10, is transportation. Too bad. Nobody cares. I don't care about their problems. I don't care nothing about their financial problems. Do they care about yours? Do they? No, they don't. They don't care nothing about your financial problems. You understand me? My denial, the chance to try a workshop because he couldn't pass the safety test. Yes, it's a violation because they have to figure out another way for him to access the curriculum. That's a violation. That's an OCR violation, and it's a violation. They can't have things in school that all the kids can't. Make them put it in writing. Make them say, well, we couldn't do it because he didn't pass the safety test. He has a disability. So you have to modify how the test is being delivered to him. Do you want me to contact the Office of Civil Rights to show you that I'm right and you're wrong? Is that what you want to do? So, I mean, if he was in a wheelchair, would it be that, he can't come into the building because we don't have a ramp and we can't pick him up? I mean, I don't understand that thought process. And that's what you have to say to them. That's stupid. They're stupid. Not you, them. Okay, you have to look at them and you have to say, you do know that common sense in the law mandates that my kid has. So what you're saying is because my kid has a disability and he can't pass the test, then that means what? You better go figure out a program that equals this one, because what you're saying is he doesn't have the same opportunities as his non-disabled peers. And the reason why he doesn't have the same opportunities because they have a disability. Is that what you're saying? And you're a teacher? Really? Do me a favor. Put that in writing. And this is how you get them. You say, on such and such a date, my kid, yada, 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 we requested this program. They have to put it in writing. Tell them you have to put this in writing. He wants that class. You have to put it in writing. It's a denial of faith. And that's what you say. This is a denial of faith and a violation of his rights to access the general curriculum. You're saying that because he doesn't have because he has a disability, and that's the reason why he can't pass the test. In your infinite wisdom, you can't figure out another way how to get him in there. Is that what you're telling me? Do you need some help? How about if I contact OSAP and OCR and a whole bunch of people? How about if I do that? Give me a reason. So yes, school said they did accommodations, but they just reduced the questions and flashcards. I don't understand what that means. I was watching your videos. That is a golden treasure of OSAP information. You're welcome. Tell everybody. Get over there on my thing. Those videos are old too, and I mean, whoa. You was reaching this. I didn't have the stuff I get now. I just keep bouncing it up with the equipment situation because it was bad. But anyway, so yes, Martin, yes, that's wrong. They can't do that. So I would report them and just say, they can say, well, we did accommodations. Well, the accommodations weren't good enough. They did flashcards. Well, then that means he needs more services, doesn't it? So what you need to ask him is, so what was the problem? Flashcards? I don't understand. So what you want now is you want testing done, because that means they did not evaluate in all areas of. You see what you guys get what I do? She asked one question, and I can tell you there's like 5 different violations. So that means that they didn't evaluate in all areas of suspected disability and he's not getting the right services. So his IEP is not reasonably calculated because he can't do flashcards. Why? Why can't he do flashcards? I'm gonna need you. You need to see the flashcards. And who is the ding dong that gave it to them? Who did the testing? Who did it? What kind of a test did it? A safety test? What kind of a test? Did they make up the safety test? What kind of a safety test is it? Did they go through OSHA or something? And thank you, you know what? See, I get mad real quick and I lose it because it's not, what they're doing is not right. They got you on denial of faith. It's an OCR violation. They created a test that we don't even know who created the test. What safety test? What's the name of the safety test? Where did the test come from? And who's the ding dong that actually provided the test? Did the person even know how to do? Let me tell you something, guys. The testing that they do on kids, everybody can't do. I can't do it. I have a master's degree in psychology. I can't do all those tests. I'm not trained to do them. And not only do you have to be trained to administer the test, then you have to be trained on how to take that information and analyze it and then tell us how this impacts this kid. They said they don't let him put hands on tools they used to be dangerous. That's not a test. They need to show him how to do it. Tell them to put that shit in writing. And if they did, what you need to do is you need to know the name of the test they gave him. You need to know how many times. So now he needs the whole program. It's called transition. Okay. So now what they need to do is they need to have a whole program designed so that he can go into that class next year. So what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. So that means he can't cook either or go to gym. See, we can keep going up the ladder. And see, they're going to look like idiots. Can he hold a pencil? He might stab himself or stab somebody in the eye with it. I mean, that's dumb. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to say things back to them. So does that also mean that he can't participate in gym? Because, he could jump and break a leg. Or, he might get hit with a bat. I don't know. So that then it's not, then now I got a problem because now I'm thinking perhaps it's not. Give him something else to do. He has to touch the dude. He can't touch any tools to make something. See, there's more than one way to participate. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. See, like, for instance, let's say somebody's blind and they say, somebody asks them, what do you want to do when you graduate from high school? I want to be an airline pilot. We're real close to that actually being able to be done because of technology. But when I was growing up, that was an impossibility. You can't be, you're blind. Like right now, we got cars that park themselves. Okay. So, I mean, it's a possibility someday that's going to happen real soon. But anyway, let's say for argument's sake, it can't be done. That doesn't mean that person can't do other things within the airport, on the plane. He could be on the phone taking airline tickets. He could be helping people with their bags. There's lots and lots of things in an airport that person can do. So that means this is what I hate about public schools, because they're run by idiots. Okay. They got teensy brains. Okay. They can't think outside of a box that they created that's like this big because they're stupid. It's just stupid. I just don't understand. That makes me so mad because these people are providing an education to our kids. Now, wait, want to hear something real bad? This is for kids with disabilities. What are they doing to the kids who don't have a disability? That's why we have a bunch of kids right now that don't have any critical thinking skills, because the moron that's talking to this person Doesn't have any critical thinking skills. Because a normal human being would say, well, why don't we try to figure out what he could do in that classroom? He can't touch the tools? Okay. Maybe he could do something else. How do you know he wouldn't want to do something? So then slowly somebody could show him, here's a nail. I'll take your hand and we'll go down. You can't do that. Where's this one-to-one? Oh, so you're saying, see, that's another way you go. Oh, so you're saying he needs a one-to-one. Oh, no, we're not saying that. We're just saying he can't do it. Good, put that in writing. I say he needs a one-to-one for that one particular class. That's what I would do. I put it in writing at time. So what you're saying is anything that some idiot out there says he can't do, you can't do because it's too dangerous. So that means he can't go to gym because he could break an ankle. He could get hit with a bat. He could be hit with a ball. He could throw something wrong at somebody and conk them in the head. I mean, I don't know. Okay, but there's lots of things when you're doing gym. AI already has an RBT. Well, then tell those fucking people. They need to they need to write the IEP over again. And that whole thing needs to be done right. What you need to do is, I'm telling you, what you need to do is file with OCR. Make them put that crap in writing, okay? And then you need to put it to them. And you need to say, so let me get this straight. What do you mean by AI? AI ready, okay? Has an RBT. And, okay, so what I would do is talk to them. See, the RBT is behavioral, is a registered behavior technician. So that means he has behaviors. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. So if he has behaviors, what are the behaviors? And I don't want you to tell me. I just want you to think about some things first, okay? Before you go and attack him already, okay? He already has an RBT as a one-to-one. Okay, good. That's a good start. So now what I would do is I would send them an email, and I would say, according to you people, he can't participate in this class, even though he has an RBT, one-on-one. There's no way he can participate in this class. No friggin' way at all. Without any modifications or accommodations in this classroom, he can't do it. Is that what you're telling me? And that's exactly how you say it. Is that what you're telling me? I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear. There's nothing that you people can do to help my kid to participate in this classroom like everybody else in the school can participate in things. But he can't participate in it because of his disability and it's unsafe, even with an RBT one-on-one. Is that correct? That's how you say it to them. That's how you say it to them. What you're doing is you're backing them into a corner. And they only got two answers. One's a lie and one's the truth. And either one of them are bad. Because if they lie, they're fine. If they tell the truth, they're fine. Either way you want to put it. Because it's a violation of his rights. Unless, and that would mean that he would need more than an RBT. If his behaviors are so off the hook, maybe he shouldn't even be in that school. Maybe they should spend a lot more money to put him someplace else. I don't know if you would want that, but I'm just saying. I asked the OTs for the Bot 2 in advance and came to the IEP meeting with a comparison of his test with the Bot 2 as a reason not to perform the Bot 2. Is that predetermination? Oh, okay, wait, Alma, that's a lot. Okay. You asked them to do the Bot 2 in advance, and they came to the meeting with a comparison of his test with the Bot 2, okay? But they use it as a reason not to perform the Bot 2? That's stupid. You say, okay, here's what you do. You tell them, okay, so what you're doing is you're telling me you're not going to do the Bot 2 because you decided in your infinite wisdom that this test that has been deemed valid and reliable and technically sound is horseshit compared to your decision. What are your skills? Who deemed you valid and reliable? Okay. That is predetermination. And you tell them, you have to put that in writing. Put that in writing and tell me why you can't do the Bot 2. You can't, what you should have done is gone on the thing and got the Bot 2 sample. There's a Bot 2 sample, you can print it out. Where can I get copies of your templates and complaint letters? You're talking about this thing right here? Wait a minute, honey. Oops. This. You talking about this? I'm going to post it. Okay. Indefinite was no. I'm going to post this. Okay. I have to go in, but what I wanted to show you guys is this is what I was trying to tell you guys to do when you do yours. Okay. This is after. Okay. This is their summary of what I wanted. And that's okay. Because let me tell you why it was okay. This is what they did. So it goes, and when you read this out there, I'm going to put it out there for everybody to see. Okay. Because it's a hoop. Because the next thing I'm going to show you is. So this is what they did. So the district, this right here is what the state told the district. Okay. They have to give the state in order for them to continue with their investigation. You see, when I filed mine, I attached documents, okay, to prove what I was saying. So now the state is saying, hey, school district, we want you to answer this report, and this is what we want you to address, okay? And what we need from you now is a copy of all correspondence. Here it is right here. See, all of these things, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, okay? This is all the stuff they have to provide to the state. They have to provide a copy of all correspondence concerning requests for evaluation for the student during the 2020-2021 school year since March 2021 and 2021 to 2022 school years. Please include all required notices under the federal guidelines. Okay. The N1, which is prior written notice. Okay. Refusal to act, N2, because they didn't do it. So if you don't do it, then you have to have a notice that says we're not doing it. Okay. And the evaluation consent form, they have that. Meetings invitations, they have that. IEPT meeting attendance sheets or equivalent documents for the 504 process. So they put in everything that they were supposed to have as part of determining whether this kid is eligible for services. Okay. So then they said the district's child find policies. I'm going to show you why this is important in a few minutes, okay? And then they said include copies of letters, notices, emails, and other supporting documentation since March. Now, in Massachusetts, whatever I send the state in my complaint, the school district has to do the same thing. I have to send it to the school district, and the school district has to do the same thing. They have to send it to me, okay? So I got all of this stuff, and it was a hot mess. I knew I was going to win. And then here's a copy of the student's last consented to IEP, the district's process for determining how a student qualifies for extended services, because all of that's in there, okay? And then they tell them what to do, okay? And it tells about agree to resolution and yada, 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 Matthew Nixon, okay? So that's nice. So then they did their investigation, right? Whoop, I did that wrong. Okay, you guys can't see that name. Okay, this is what they're called, the letter of findings. Okay, the letter of findings is the result. All right, it's the what their investigation found. Okay, this is all the shit they reviewed, allegedly. I don't believe nothing they say because they liars, and I'm going to prove it. So the department determined non-compliance. Oh, yeah. And we are advising the district now of this finding as well as of the required corrective action. Okay. A summary of the concerns, our findings, and the required corrective actions are as follows. Okay. Concerns and findings. Oops. Okay. So they did that. They're just giving me a summary. And so this is the allegation. Okay. So they go through and they list all of the allegations again. Okay. This is the allegation once. This is what a stupid IEP looked like. They didn't do none of this. None of these services did he get. He didn't get none of this shit. None of it. So all right, I'm just trying to get to the good part, okay? So they're telling them what they looked at and everything. So then, all right. So that was all, what was this on? allegation, the 3-year reevaluation. So that was all the 3-year reevaluation, right? Okay. So then we go all the way down. The department's review of documentation found that the parent requested a postponement of the reevaluation. However, the district did not confirm this request in writing from the parents. The district delayed the reevaluation as requested by the parent, and while the district acted in good faith to implement the requirements of yada, 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 the district did not obtain any written agreement from the parent to the postponement of the student's reeval, nor did the parties agree under 303 reevaluation. The reevaluation was unnecessary. This is what I want you guys to remember. This is what I need you guys to look at. So when you're filing your complaint, you can take this thing, like if it's for a 3-year reeval, and you can say, you just cut and paste this and take out the parts that don't have anything to do with you. But for the most part, it said, this is the part where you guys would do it. You guys would say, the district relayed, let's just say, and you take out this law right here. So you would take out that law right there, okay? Because that's not, unless it's in Massachusetts. Under the circumstances, the district did not obtain any, that's the part you guys would say. This is what you would do. Good. You would use the district. I don't know why it's just irritating me all the time. I don't know why it wants to do that. Okay. Therefore, the department requires corrective action in this matter. Anytime you see that, you want. Okay. So then we go down to allegation number 2. The district did not implement the last agreed upon IEP. So they go through all of the rigmarole, remote learning. They did all of this, yada, yada, yada. Says, PRS communicated with the district by telephone on June 2nd, 2022 for additional clarification regarding the student's remote plan. The district acknowledged that for a period of time to start the school program, the special education were not provided to the student. They admitted it. The district acknowledged non-compliance of FAPE 300.17 and 605-2805, which states, parental response to the proposed IEP and proposed placement, the school district shall implement all accepted yada yada without delay. The department requires corrective action in this matter. I won that one. Allegation number 3, district did not implement child find. Okay. Then it says, the department recognizes that while the district delayed the reevaluation as requested by the district, continued to identify the student as eligible for service using this is available data. The department finds the district complied. They're nuts. They didn't. That was a violation of child find. But that's okay because they got the entire state in trouble with that one thing about child find because they didn't do it. Allegation number 4, the district did not implement the extended school year program. The department finds that the district implemented the ESY. Okay, we didn't even want that. I forgot what it was. Here's a corrective action order. Okay, this is what they found. They had to do the reevaluation, develop a compensatory. This was their big time thing. I was pissed. Develop a compensatory plan for special education because they owed this kid 18 weeks from September 2021 to December of 2021 for compensatory services. Everything in his IEP. Remember that big list you saw? Yeah, this is IEP. And then they have to send the plan to the state, and the plan, the state would make a decision. We both have to do one. And the district, the state will make a determination which plan goes forward. And if we can't figure it out, then what would happen is the state would develop one, which is exactly what the state did. The state developed a plan and then dropped the ball. Completely dropped the ball. Like dropped the mic, they ain't do shit. They wrote the corrective action order. They wrote the department plan for compensatory services and did absolutely no monitoring on the implementation. He didn't get it again. So even though I won twice. So then this came. And this is a friggin' hoop, okay? So this is the September 29th letter. While I was doing all of that, in August, we got the compensatory plan for the school district to implement the IEP, all the services, compensatory services. So while we were doing that, this came out, okay? This is a hoop. You see what it says up here? See, you paying attention? See what it says? OSEP. Okay. Then it says here, over the last several months, the U.S. Department of OSEP, the U.S. Department of Education Office, OSEP, received a number of concerns from stakeholders, including advocacy groups, local education agency personnel, local special education parent advisory councils, and individual parents of children with disabilities in Massachusetts. As we have discussed during our monthly meetings, because they're bad, they're in the monthly meetings, the stakeholders raised the question as to whether Massachusetts has a system reasonably designed to monitor its LEAs to ensure compliance in Part B. So it goes on under, this is all of the laws I talked to you guys before about. This is their job, to monitor the districts. This was my favorite one. The parents and advocates also raised concerns regarding the department's state complaint investigation procedures and whether such investigations include the activities beyond the LEA record review. It didn't. Doesn't. How child find applies to a reevaluation performance delivered without recommendations for related services. Okay. I'm just going to finish this real quick. Okay. So this is the state complaint. Okay. This is what we did. One of my biggest concerns about the state complaint procedures in Massachusetts. Once you get a state complaint done, you're done. It doesn't matter what the findings are. You can't take the PRS, the state complaint investigators, you can't bring them to due process hearings in Massachusetts. There's a law. So I've been arguing for a couple of years now about this stupid law. I said, the parents don't have any rights. We can't appeal it in any way, shape, or form. We can't have a hearing on it, and we can't appeal it. Well, guess what they're doing now? That's what you could do. You could take that entire complaint now, and you can actually go file it at the Bureau of Special Education Appeals. You can dispute it. They don't want you to, but you can. So one of the things was, which I just saw it today, I couldn't believe it. Preparing for this, I was so mad at myself. One of the state complaints is how the state is ensuring state complaint decisions are implemented. This is this case. This is this case. Okay. They issued a corrective action order and they didn't do shit on it. Nothing. Okay. They just put it on a piece of paper and then walked away. So I filed against the state and I just found out I won that too. Okay. Says, and whether the parent retains the right to file a due process complaint after a state complaint investigation is completed. Massachusetts says no. Massachusetts says no. Okay. So what the state came back and told them, what the feds came back and told them is that based on I'm trying to show you guys how shit can happen. You got to be persistent and you got to be a pit bull. Based on the concerns of stakeholders and OSEP's review of publicly available information regarding implementation of child find requirements in the state, including applicable guidance and information on the state's tiered focus monitoring system, which they don't implement. OSEP is requesting that DESE submit the following, that's Massachusetts Department of Education, information within 60 days of this letter. They're still reviewing this stuff. So one of them is the state's policies and procedures for conducting child find, state's policies and procedures to ensure each public agency conducts a full and individual initial evaluation in a timely manner, policies on procedures, practices regarding the use of RTI. They love to use RTI. State's criteria for determining whether a child has a specific learning disability, state's monitoring protocols addressing child find, RTR, all of that, okay? In special ed schools. Wait, I missed one. That was child find. State complaints. State complaints, okay. Then, in addition, SEA believes that the parent should file a due process complaint against the LEA, the department. Appropriate, okay. Once a written decision, the state complaints, the SEA must ensure the complaint and implement, okay. So, where's mine? All right, so here's the one on the state complaints. Based on the concerns from stakeholders, review of submitted dispute resolution data. Publicly available state policy, the examples of state in the state, including applicable guidance, information, tier focus system. I keep jumping to the wrong one. Okay, here it is. OSEP believes additional information is needed to review how child find, yada, yada, policies and protocols, training for, okay. Policies and procedures addressing the investigation of the state complaint, any protocols or trainings provided to state investigators regarding the state complaints. I'm going to show you how I kick their butts. That'll be another day. You're not going to believe this. This was like 3 things. So what you saw was PRS 6924. Then you saw the letter local report, which is the 6924. Then you saw the letter of finding that I was right and they have to issue corrective action orders. And now you're looking at a letter from OSEP because I said they didn't do their job at the state level either. My kid still hasn't gotten anything. Nothing. All this time. Since I filed the complaint in 2022, hasn't got. Well, I filed the complaint in 2022, but it went back all the way to 2021. He still hasn't gotten it. Yeah. So they had to provide the federal government with any protocols or trainings provided to state investigators regarding the state complaints. They just started doing that. Current tracking logs for state complaints. Random sample. I sent to mine. Here's a random sample. 20 dismissed or withdrawn state complaints from the last 3 years, policies and procedures related to the resolution of state complaints, and evidence of completion, tracking logs of corrective action. Yeah. Yeah. That's what the Russell Johnston just got promoted to deputy commissioner, to the commissioner. He was the state special ed director. Yeah. So this all happened on his watch. Okay. Now, child find. So let me go in here. So do you see how this? So I'm going to give you guys all of this. So because you need all of it to see what the state's responsibility is, what the school district's responsibility is, and when they don't do their job. That's what mine shows you. What happens when they don't do their job. Hi, Laura. So happy to get you live. Love listening to your videos. Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it if you do that. Put some comments in there. If you have any questions about any of these videos, throw your questions in there and I'll do my best to answer them. Like I said, right now I'm down to 1 client as far as a hearing. So everything else that I'm doing, I can do with my sleep, my eyes closed. So I can handle that. But I'll have more time to do this and to give you guys what you really need. And I'm doing it now almost on a regular basis every Wednesday. But give me an incentive to make me keep coming here for you guys because I love doing it. So thank you so much, Laura. Finish explaining. We watch all your. Finish explaining what you are on because we all watch your videos. Oh, I'm on YouTube. Sped Answers. What's the name of it, guys? Special Ed Answers. Tammy Joy. Okay. I just filed my first state complaint in Oregon. Wish me, oh girl, good luck. And don't worry if you don't fail. But you know what? Sometimes you hit pay dirt real quick. All right. So good luck to you. I know you can do this. You guys are good. I'm telling you, you're good. Thank you so much for watching it. I love. How do I contact you to do it? To do what? I don't do none of this no more. I show you how to do it. I don't do it. Okay. I know. I can't. It's too much. You guys don't understand. I'm 65 years old. I've been doing this for 30 years. This is all I want to do it like this. And I will give you guys everything you need. I'm just not going to file them. I'm not doing none of that stuff anymore. File a complaint. Watch, I'm going to show you. I'm going to create a form and you guys use these documents to fill it out. If you read the documents, you'll see what I'm telling you on how to put it together. Okay. And I'm just going to keep showing you guys how to do it. I don't care how many times I'm going to show you. I don't. And I haven't forgotten about putting that little class together. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. Now I'm getting time freed up. I'm good. Okay. So give me a minute. Let me just show you guys what. Oh, child find. Here we go. Okay. 34 CFR. What is child find? Is it 101? No, that's fake. What did I just look up? That's the wrong one. 34 CFR 101. Wait a minute, guys. Oh, no, it's 111. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you another one. Okay. So that's done. And we're going to keep talking. I'm going to keep posting these out there so you guys can see them. Okay. So don't think I'm going to forget. I'm not forgetting. I like it too much. Okay. So now I'm going to do it again. So let me explain child find, you guys. Okay. So, all right. So Alma wants me to explain how child find applies regarding reevaluation. So let me break it down to you. The school district has to have policies in effect. It says it right there. Policies are to ensure that all children residing in the state, including children with disabilities, get public school. A practical method to develop and implement to determine yada yada yada. I'm trying to figure out how to tell you guys this. So, the best way to look at child find is like this. So those idiots said, for instance, that the school district didn't violate child find. Well, it's kind of hard not to violate child find if you never did a 3-year reeval. Okay. So in order to determine whether a child is a child that is a student with a disability, the child must be evaluated. Okay. That's how they identify a child with special needs. Okay. That's how they do child find. All children with disabilities. A practical method is developed and implemented to determine which children are currently receiving needed special education and related services. The only way you can do that is to do evaluations, initial evaluations and reevaluations. Okay. So when they don't do an initial or a reeval, you can say it's a violation also of child find, because you can't develop. How can I put this? You can't. Children are currently receiving. The school district can't determine which children are currently receiving needed special education and related services if they never evaluated any, and they have to use technically sound insurance. Oh, rigmarole. Okay. LEA. I'm just reading to see. That's all it says. They have to develop a way to identify children who have special needs. Now, sometimes that comes through a referral from a doctor. Sometimes it comes through referrals through early intervention. And once they find out, they're done. Okay. They're all set. Now they have to provide the next step, which would be 34 CFR. Okay. Evaluation procedures. Okay. And well, actually, you know what? Maybe if I do it this way, 34 CFR. Okay. The initial evaluation. So the initial evaluation of a child is the manner in which you determine whether a child is a child who has special needs. Okay. An initial evaluation. That's child find. That's the only way you can identify, unless, if the only other way that it can be done is when a parent comes to the school district and says, here, my child, here's all of these evaluations from these reputable doctors. My kid has this, and this. These are the services I need. And the school district goes, okay, we'll accept all of your evaluations. We'll determine your kid to have autism, just like the record shows. That's the only time they don't have to do an evaluation. When both parties agree to waive any procedures under IDEA, then you're good. Okay, both parties are good. It's when the school district doesn't follow procedures, period. Okay, but the school district still has to put it in writing. We've conducted the initial evaluation by accepting the parents' evaluation. Everything has to go in writing. Okay. So each public agency, okay, I'm freezing. Okay. Say so when a kid is the very first time the school district sees a kid and the parent says, I want my kid evaluated, or I think my kid has yada yada yada, or the kid walks in and they walk in with evaluations. So now they've done child find. So now part of child find is how do they identify them? And now they have to put together, they have to do the next step from that is they have to do the initial evaluation procedures. Okay. And that includes a full initial evaluation in accordance with 304, which I just showed you, through 306. That goes all the way through the determination of eligibility. So when you do child find, that's when you do child find. The kid is identified that there's a possibility the kid has a disability. So child finds means the school district identified the kid as having a disability. However, they can't just do an eyeball test. They have to literally do evaluations that are deemed valid and reliable and technically sound. I like your Facebook picture. I remember the cartoon. It's bothering me. What Facebook page? The one on the other Facebook, the avatar girl. So, so what happens is when you do the initial evaluations, this is where they talk about they must be conducted. They got to give you consent. It must be conducted within 60 days. This is where the 60 days comes in. Okay. It's in the initial evaluation. A lot of states like Massachusetts, they continue that with the reevaluation too. Some states don't, but they have to get a reevaluation done within a reasonable amount of time in order to do the annual review. What you guys have to understand is every single one of these laws is built on the law. There's another law that comes that they build. Okay. All the laws are stacked. So you can't do one without the other is what I'm trying to say. You can't do child find and not do an evaluation or an initial evaluation. You can't do an initial evaluation and not put the kid and not determine eligibility. The purpose of doing child find is to now you got to figure out what the kid's needs are. And the only way to do that is to do the initial evaluation. And then you got from there, once you do that, now you got to, okay, so we did the initial evaluation. Now what? Well, the initial evaluation tells you what your kid's unique needs are. Where are his deficits? What supports and services? That's what those evaluations are supposed to show. And then the team determines eligibility. So once the evaluations are done, then the team can say, well, does the kid need special education or does the kid need accommodations? Okay. Always say an IEP. You want specially designed instruction. That's an IEP. Okay. And then this talks about the what it must consist of to determine if the child is a child with a disability under 300.8. 300.8 under IDEA is all the disabilities that could be out there. Okay. To determine the educational needs of the child. Okay. What the kid needs. Exactly. That's exactly what the kid needs. Not what the school district can do. Not if it's in their budget. Not if they can afford it. Not if they don't have enough staff. Nobody cares about none of that because there's a law for each one of those. The law. It doesn't matter if they say, well, we don't have enough staff. Well, that sounds like a personal problem. And the law says you're supposed to. So we got a problem. I don't care. I don't care that you don't have enough staff. You're making your problem my responsibility. And let me tell you something. I take my responsibilities very seriously. You don't want me to do what I think I need to do to you. Because it's not my job to do your job. It's your job to do your job. That's why you went into school and you went to education. So you could do this work. Do your job. Okay. So that's how child find and the determination of eligibility. It goes child find once they find out, and it could be through a lot of means. It could be, the evaluation procedures. It could be through a referral from a doctor or a social worker or somebody out there. So it could be from anybody. Once they find out that there's a kid that may have a disability, that they are suspected of having a disability. As soon as they get notified, they have to go and complete the process. They have to tell the parent, we're proposing to do an evaluation. These are the evaluations we're going to do. We need your consent to do them. This is the reason why. Then you get to have a meeting with the evaluators. You can find out, like, what are these evaluations for? If you've never done it before, this is what you do. Okay. I do not like them. I know I don't like it. I'm just saying. Yeah. Okay. So, the state complaints and the complaints against the state are, you guys just don't even know how powerful that those people, those things are, those tools are for you. You have no idea. When I get done, you're gonna know, because I don't care if I have to talk about this every single thing. I don't care. You guys keep coming. I'm going to keep talking about state complaints. I'm going to keep talking about, I don't want you guys going to a due process hearing. I just know. It's stupid. When you go to a due process hearing, it's only about your kid. And you're only going after one little teeny problem. You could win. Yes, you could win. Or not. And more likely than not, you're not going to win. And you're never going to win any money. You can win tuition reimbursement. Like, if your kid didn't get, like one of my clients didn't get anything, I'm going for tuition reimbursement from the state. Was Bonnie's not here, but yeah, from the state, that's what I'm going to do. Because they, under the law, and the stupid new person in the Department of Education just told one of my clients, oh no, we don't have the power and authority to withhold funds from the school district. And so I sent an email to her, to the parent that told me that nonsense, and to Laura Duels. And I said, with the law, and I said, do you want to tell her she's wrong, or do I? Here's the law. You want to explain this? I'm sick of these people. She's dumb as lint. I don't like her. I think she's stupid. And I don't care. I don't. Nowadays, there's just too many people that have high-powered jobs and titles, and they're just stupid. They're stupid. And I can't take it. My brain doesn't process stupid. It gets mad and it spits it out. And sometimes when it spits it out, it's very nasty, mean. I hit way below the belt. I'm very vicious. I don't care. You're stupid. We already get compensatory education because they don't provide ABA, but the state doesn't follow the case. Honey, that's what they're doing in Massachusetts. I understand. That's what they're doing right now in Massachusetts. The state has, the school district and the state, they're supposed to work together. So the state Department of Education is supposed to be overseeing the wombats at the school local level. Okay. All of them. Now, in their little teeny beeny itty bitty minds, they don't think so. I don't know what they think. It's like they didn't read. And that's what I'm going to ask OSEP. Do you guys actually give them training? And do you give them a booklet? What they have to do for this? Massachusetts. Just found out. Somebody told me. Massachusetts is getting $660 million. Over $600 million a year for special education. And we don't know where the money is. They're saying they're giving it to the kids, but I get random cases all the time, and my clients before weren't getting anything. The last two cases of kids that I've had, these last two cases, neither one of these kids were getting services. The one that case that I just talked to you about was just getting services like within days before he had to go away. The whole family went away. And so just before he left, he was just getting services. And I mean, just 2 years, 2 complaints and a federal investigation into the State Department of Education. And he just got it. The other little girl, she just got, after 6 stupid idiot paraprofessionals that they hired to give this kid, who is very complex in her disability, cutest little thing you ever want to see. They just, December 13th, gave her a person with the credentials of a BCBA, RBT person, went to school, has all the credentials, graduated from college and everything. And now the kid is not having any SIB behaviors. She's making progress. The mother said, I can't believe what a difference. I said, she's getting the services she needs from a person who has sense, who has a training, who knows what to do. Not somebody who's going to sit there and baby. The first time I saw the kid, I did an observation of the kid with the mother. I wanted to go through there and punch him all in the face and say, you're babysitting. She doesn't have access to anything. I mean, this is stupid. That woman touches that kid one more time, I'm coming to that school. She was hugging her. I said, that's not her mother. What is she doing? Get her away from my client. That's not how it's supposed to work at all. Then they were doing the discrete trial trainings with her, and it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. She didn't know what she was doing. And the woman had holding the camera so we could see, because we did it virtually. She was the BCBA, and she didn't tell her to stop doing it that way. They don't care. You understand? And that's why I don't care. That's why I'm telling you. If there's a secret to be told, I'm telling you guys everything. I don't care. I'm telling you guys everything. I'm going to tell you how to do workarounds. I'm going to tell you how to do it your way. I'm going to tell you how to write it up. I'm going to tell you how to do all of it. You got to do it, though. If you don't do it, it's everything that you get, you're going to continue to get. We already get, okay. So if you're already getting it, then they didn't provide it. Then you need to file again. You tell them, I didn't get it. Where is it? And now they're going to have to don't tell them you're going to. That's another thing. Don't give these people a heads up. Don't give them a warning. Don't say I'm going to report you. They don't care. Report them. Now they're going to care, because I'm going to go, oh shit, she reported us. And remember this. You're not going to hit pay dirt all the time. You're not. You might not hit pay dirt for the first couple of times, but you know what you're going to get? You're going to learn how to do them. That's what you're going to do. Don't get those things and throw it in the corner. Get them and read them, because you're going to find what you did, that if you had done it a little bit differently, reframe it. That's what I do. I reframe and refile. That's all you got to do. Because if they say, well, we didn't find this, you're like, oh, I see. So that's how they're talking. So that's what they're saying. Our BCBA is a district representative for the district. That is why she is never in my IEP meetings. Even I request her to be there. You should report her to the BACB, the board. What is it? The Behavior Analyst Certification Board. She has to go there. Tell her that. It's the BACB. There you go. I'm going to learn how to put these things on here. So when you're flipping through, you could speed up to get to the part you want. You'll see a little thing on there besides my stupid name. Okay, so you want BACB.com. Okay, go there. It's the behavior. What? Okay. BACB. It's the Behavior Analyst Certification Board. Okay, and on there you can look her up on their website and find out if you can report her through the BACB directly, or do you have to go through your state. In Massachusetts, we have to go through our state if we're going to file a complaint against a BACB, against a BCBA. But in some states, and it's only a few states, in some states you can go straight to the BACB and do it. File against her. She'll look at you through a different lens. I bet you she'll show up at your next meeting. Just the fact that she got it, because she's supposed to be there so that she can do a consult with you, so that she can tell the team as a team member. If she's a team member, what do you mean she's a representative? A lawyer? Is she a lawyer? If she's a lawyer, I don't understand. A district representative for the district. That is why she is never in my IEP meetings, even when I request her to be there. I mean, so do you have any interaction with her at all? I would just report. Just report it to the BACB. Let them decide if she should be at the meetings. Because her input is critical. Okay? Her input about what she's doing with your kid is critical. Her not being there, okay, here's what you do. Representative for the SPED director. Yes, screw her. This is what you tell her. In an email, you tell her you want her at your meetings because, what you're going to say is because without the BCBA at the team meeting denies you the right to meaningfully participate and denies you, and therefore that's what I said. And therefore you cannot make denies you the right to meaningfully participate as that's what I want, as the decision making authority for your child. That's what you put in there. And when you file a complaint, that's what you say to them. Because you can't ask her. And then the team doesn't have the benefit either, because what happens is whatever she says, now they can understand what's going on. So if that piece isn't being done right, then she's screwing up everything. Because whatever she's doing, they can do too. Okay? Like it's like general what do you call it? When you it's when you can. She's not an expert on behaviors, because if she was an expert on behaviors, her house would be there. Tell her, I don't think you're an expert on behaviors, because your behaviors is telling me that you don't give a shit. And then you take your orders from your people, and that's why you don't care about my kid. I don't want you now. I want somebody else. You're not a very good BCBA if you don't even show up at the meetings for which you're developing. Yeah, see, good. Okay, with some expert. Can you just tell me about your behaviors? Are you afraid of your boss? Is that why you don't come? That's what your behaviors are showing me. That's what you tell her. Right to her face. And you tell her that to her face, and you put it in writing. And when you put it in writing, you send it to everybody on the team. Yeah, see? I told you I'm nasty. I want them to feel this big. And then you tell them, well, maybe the BACB, and you just throw it out there. Well, maybe the BACB will see it differently. When I let them know that you're refusing to come. Oh, and that's another thing. Their contract with the school district, a BCBA, cannot take a job that will throw the BACB code of ethics out the window. That's a violation of their code of ethics. She can get her shit taken away from her. I would just ask her, so do you really like being a BCBA and having that certification? So would it look bad on you if somebody filed a complaint? A legitimate complaint? You're not doing any consulting with me. Isn't that part of the BACB code of ethics? See, that's the kind of thing you say. Isn't that part of the BACB code of ethics? She'll be like, uh-oh, she knows about the code of ethics. And the BCBA code of ethics is online. It's on that same website. Okay? So, guys, I'll be back next week, and I'm going to show you 2 more letters. I'm going to post this stuff between now and then. I'm going to post this stuff. What I want to do for you guys is, that's why I haven't done it yet. I haven't had time, but I'm going to do it between now and next week. I want to literally make a form so that you guys have the form, and then I'm going to tell you, this is where you put this, okay? This is where you put that. Then that way, you can use that one to do the other one too. But it has a different set of laws that you use. So I want to make it so that when you guys do it, you do it right. Okay, so I'll tell you where to cut and paste laws. I'll tell you, like, this is where you put this. And then this is where you put the evidence. And then, I want to show you like that. I want to do it right. So when you get it out there, it goes out right. That's why I wanted you to see that letter of the local letter from the state. I love you guys. I love doing this. It's so much fun. I'm so glad now I'll be able to do it even more. And some of you have been contacting me. There was a lady that had me cracking up the other day. I read her, and she sent me a message, and she was asking me about something, this thing, the document. And she told me that I got to give you guys a warning, because she was eating and she was almost choked. She was laughing so hard. I got to give you a warning that I'm going to say something crazy, make you laugh. But it was just so funny to hear. I love seeing that stuff you guys made me. I showed it to everybody. I was like, look what one of my followers wrote. This is so funny. I love it. You guys are sweet, and I got you. I'm going to try to keep your backs all the time. Tiffany, I swear to God, I'm going to put that out there this week. It'll break it down even better. Okay, it's going to be even better, because now I get time. I can break it down, because it's hard. I know it's hard. sucks too. But I'll have it out there in a couple of days. I promise. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for coming. I hope you got something out of this. Don't believe the hype. They lie. Just remember, they lie. They lie. Liars. And always remember this. They're stupid wombats. That's what they are. They're stupid. You have to remember that. You're way smarter than them. I don't care what they say. You're smarter than them. So are your kids. Just saying. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for coming. I really had fun. I love you. I'll see you next week. Promise. Bye, Felicias.